points of Jaguar. Jaguar, I think the problem is they don't really have the luxury of any time to get their act together. They can't afford a season with one of their drivers lagging behind a bit. They've got to get on and get some results.
They're also paying a fortune out in redundancy payments. If you think about all the team principals that have left the team, still being paid millions of dollars. It's a rather confused picture at the moment at Jaguar, but I would put a little money on Wirtz being behind the wheel in Austria in a couple of weeks' time. We will see. Great scrap here, though. Two Jordans in the mix. Fisichella and Firman, 13th and 14th. Wilson and Verstappen in front. Approaching half distance in the Spanish Grand Prix at Barcelona. Fernando Alonso in the Renault has come across this. Two Jordans, two Minardis, all back markers, all of them needing to be overtaken. That's Michael Schumacher, the race leader, who's already done so. And Alonso cannot afford to lose too much time here because these guys are all battling each other for position. And Alonso is desperately trying to keep in touch with Michael Schumacher. He was only just over 4 seconds behind him at the end of the previous lap. Let's see how much he's lost when he crosses the start-finish line this time, just with this traffic.
And will Ralph Firman punish Fisichella for being overly kind to Alonso? I think indeed he has. And Fisichella just leapt out of the way of Alonso, and Ralph Firman says, I'll have a bit of that, thank you. Now, Rubens Barrichello's got the Noah's Ark scrap to get past two of them, the two Minardis and then the two Jordans, and Alonso carving his way nicely through the traffic, inevitably helped by the waved blue flags. Louise is with David Coulthard.
David, all sorts of argy-bargy going on in that race. First of all, tell us what happened with Jensen.
Well, I can only presume he was coming out the pits because he certainly wasn't in my mirrors as I came down the straight. You know, just one of those things, I guess. You know, he was on the inside trying to keep his corner. I don't know, it's a bit bizarre actually because I wasn't aware that he was there, so I have to, on that basis, give him the benefit of the doubt.
Were you aware that Jarno was there in the earlier incident?
Yeah, I knew it was all going to be a bit tight through there. It got a bit messy because the Ferraris got wide, but I just tried to pick my way through. And all you can do in those situations is make sure you're not the guy who runs into someone. You know, I made that mistake a few years ago when you remember we didn't get off the grid. I started last, passed a lot of people, and then got sort of so close to the car in front that when Rinaldi hit the back of me, it pushed me into the car. So you just have to, you know, as Martin will know, you just have to make sure you've got plenty of room to the car in front and hope that someone doesn't hit you. But I'm going to have a little dig and say that it's not a surprise that Jarno runs into someone. You know, it all gets a bit Italian for him when he gets into close quarter racing.
Thanks, David.
Difficult to comment. We really haven't seen a good angle of that. But that's a
David Coulthard. There was a very interesting scrap going on between the Minardis and the Jordan. And Ralph Firman, who's been having quite a good afternoon here, is ahead of his teammate, is now ahead of the first of those two Minardis. So he's start chasing after Mark Webber now in the Jaguar. And on the quiet, the two Brits, Wilson and Firman, the two back markers making their debut this year, are having a really, really solid afternoon here. Now, to answer the question, Alonso, he's got Cristiano Di Matta behind him on the road, and that's one of the two Jordans in the pits. It's Ralph Firman, who was in the final points-paying position, in fact, before he made that stop, 8th place. Certainly Di Matta is having a strong afternoon here, and just behind them you saw that battle between Firman and Button. Hopefully we'll see a bit more of that too in a moment, but we're focusing our attention on this battle here for 5th place between Ralf Schumacher and Di Matta, and Ralf Schumacher
to lock those front tyres, as he has been doing so much through this Grand Prix. And behind them, Firman then fending off Jenson Button, who stopped for a new wing and has had a bit of a torrid afternoon. They're fighting over 8th place, and remember, that means a World Championship point now.
Yeah, two Brits fighting for the final point. Whichever one of them gets it, with the only British point scorer this afternoon, because Coulthard is out of the race after contact. And Justin Wilson is down in 11th place in the Minardi, but still a lot of racing to go here. This is lap 59 of 65. Two great scraps then. At the front, just to bring you up to date, Michael Schumacher now just under 10 seconds clear of Fernando Alonso. So the sweet spot, if you like, for the Michelin tyre on that Renault has not happened yet. And Michael Schumacher, just when he needed it most, I suppose, in the closing stages of the Grand Prix, has had the package working very, very well underneath him. And he looks pretty comfortable now. at the front. But look at de Matter, he's getting very close to the back of Ralph Schumacher then into turn one. We're not seeing him find a way through. There's Firman, he's still in 8th place, and Button dropping back a little bit from him now as the race leaders have come through to lap them. So Button's dropped back a long way actually. Big lock up there for Ralph Schumacher.
Head of the Toyota of de Matter, but only just.
We saw the Williams and the Toyota side by side there, right in the distance of that onboard camera of Alonso's. I wonder if there's been a change for position there. You can see the two of them. Has there been? No. Ralph is still ahead of de Matter, and now Alonso going past de Matter, lets him through straight away. That was very nice of de Matter. And now he's got to worry about Ralph Schumacher. The gap now to Michael Schumacher is 6 seconds for Alonso, with only a couple of laps to go though.
He needs to pull the same trick
of the 2003 season. And Firman, that'll do a huge amount for his confidence in the Jordan. He finishes in 8th place, just ahead of Jenson Button. Podium coming up next.
Tak vždy uměl vyhrávat, vždy to dokázal a znovu se i teď tlačí dopředu na ty nejvyšší příčky. Tak Ralph Schumacher uhájil 5. pozici, tady je pořadí